When it comes to insurability, there are basically two categories of risk. 1. Speculative risk, and 2. Pure risk. Let us discuss about these types in detail. Speculative risk. When there is no surety about profit or loss of an investment, then it becomes a speculative risk. Some of the classic examples for speculative risks are investment in stocks, bonds, shares, and mutual funds. We will never know the market fluctuations, and hence it is a speculative risk. Another simple yet popular example would be the risk involved in betting on a particular horse in a horse race. In business, at an operational level, decision to venture into a new market, purchasing new equipments, diversifying on an existing product line, and spending more on marketing and advertising are all speculative risks, as nobody knows exactly if these operational decisions would turn out to be profitable or if it might incur a loss. Pure risk. Pure risk is another popular form of risk. Pure risk is a peculiar situation wherein only loss or no loss is possible, as opposed to loss or profit as like speculative risk. The outcomes of pure risk are usually neutral situations without any loss or adverse situations with a specific amount of loss. Pure risks are further classified into three types. A. Personal risk, which are related to individuals like premature death, occupational disability, and catastrophic medical expenses. B. Property risk, which involves damage to property due to fire, lighting, or flood and theft of items due to burglary or riots. C. Liability risk, which involves threat to a company or an individual having to bear the consequences of damage or breaching standards due to flawed operations, defective product design, or any act of neglect. Particular risk. A particular risk is a risk that affects only an individual and not everybody in the community. In short, when a risk occurs due to an event in particular, then it is a particular risk. Particular risk has its origin in individual events and its impact is localized. For example, a particular jewelry shop loses its valuables due to theft in the shop, then the investment by the shopkeeper here has faced a particular risk. Only that particular shopkeeper suffers losses and not anyone else. Such instances are insurable. Fundamental risk. When multiple people are affected at one time, then it is a fundamental risk. This can occur due to any catastrophic event. It is essentially a group risk caused by phenomena like recession, bad economy, inflation, war, terrorist attacks, political instability, flood, drought, earthquake, and unpredictable weather. The recent Chennai floods would be a classic example of fundamental risk. They affect a large proportion of the population, and in some cases they can affect the whole population. The losses that flow from fundamental risks are usually not caused by a particular individual, and the impact of their effects falls generally on a wide range of people or on everybody. Fundamental risks arise from the nature of the society and a geographic location of a particular region we live in, or from some natural occurrences which are beyond the control of man. Static risk. Static risks are risks connected with losses caused by the irregular action of nature, or by man-made mistakes, or by dishonest misdeeds of people. Static losses are present in an economy that is not changing, and as such, static risks are associated with losses that would occur in an unchanging economy. For example, even if all economic variables remain constant, some people with fraudulent tendencies would still go out to steal and do money laundering with absolute dishonesty. Because of this, some people would continue to suffer financial losses even though the economy is unchanging. Such risks are termed as static risks. Dynamic risk. Dynamic risks are brought about by changes in the economy. Changes in price level of consumer goods, variations in income, taste of consumers, and technology can bring about financial losses to members of the economy. Generally, dynamic risks are the result of adjustments to misallocation of resources. Dynamic risk normally affects a large number of individuals, but because they do not occur regularly, they are more difficult to predict than static risk. These are the most important types of risks that anyone should be aware of.